Welcome to Pickleball Journey. Today we are talking about the overhead. Be sure to stay tuned to the end where we share the #1 tip for beginners.
Let's get into it. All right, guys, we're gonna go over the technique of the overhead real quick. We get a lot of asks about overheads because you got a lot of people coming in not necessarily from tennis, but from other sports. They're not used to that motion up. Every other motion seems a little bit more natural to them, but the overhead is a little different. Main piece of advice I give is make it simple. Don't complicate it, okay? Especially with the height of the ball. You know, you wanna keep the paddle as close to the ball as possible, okay? So a lot of people, they'll get too far back or they're just looping swing. All we want is both hands up with the paddle. So second hand goes up right by the ball, and then my other hand's about 45-degree angle, and I turn and I pivot. Sometimes when you're at the kitchen line, you won't turn your feet, you'll just keep it here, but you turn your body, right? You turn your shoulders so that second hand goes up, and then we come through. So I'm gonna do it with pivoting my feet just as if like I get lobbed, and you'll see how my paddle is not coming way back, okay? It's staying by the ball, and then I'm coming straight through it using a lot of my power as my wrist and my shoulders in the turn, not as much my arm with the snap of the elbow, okay? So a couple here. Okay, so turn the shoulders, and then I come through. Turn the shoulders, and then I come through. Now, a piece of advice, especially on placement of that overhead, is try not to go through the court, because going through the court, especially with an athlete like Justin, defense is super easy. Plus, you're not moving them off the court to hit to the gap, okay? Yeah. So when we hit our overheads, we want to be hitting it outside with that second bounce, outside this little sidelines, so that you're moving them away from each other so you can hit the gap.
Right.
So make sure we're either going cross court or angled one way or the other. I would recommend being angled the opposite of what side you're standing on, okay? Yeah. So if I'm on the right side, I hit it to the left side of their court. If I'm standing on the left side, I hit it to the right side of their court.
One thing I like to think about is power is good, but placement is better.
Is better, definitely, spot on. So contact is the main key on this overhead. So I want to make it as simple as possible, so I'm hitting clean.
What is the one thing you'd say for beginners to focus on if they're just starting to hit overheads? What's that one thing?
That one thing is getting the arms up and make sure you're moving your body under the ball to where your hand is, and not moving your hand to wherever the ball is, right? Yeah. You control your body movement and make sure you're hitting it in the same spot. If you're like hitting way too far to the left or the right, then you're gonna have missed contacts right and left. So put your hand in your favorite spot that you like to hit that ball, and make sure that ball goes there. Don't manipulate your hand elsewhere.
That's good. All right, if you're like me, you go through shoes really quick. You know, I'm wearing down these shoes. I don't know if you can see them here, but I love it that I can go on Promise. They've got shoes, gear, all kinds of stuff. 10% discount. See the description below.
Do it.
Make sure you stay out of the kitchen, unlike Elisha, but hop into the kitchen for their awesome curated content on Facebook, Instagram. They've got it all.